Good morning, natural gas. It's May the 5th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And today for the spot June contract, we're currently trading at 283, down 3.7 cents or 1.29%. And as you can see, we're above the 13-period exponential moving average, which came in today at 279.10. But the RSI is warning that it looks like it's going to correct to the downside. And let's take a look at the hourly chart. And we are sitting right at the pivot here at 283.40. And we're just kind of waffling it around that pivot. Our first support, 278.5, resistance, 291.60. The RSI is just slinking sideways right now, just sliding along like a snake here. It means that it's indifferent. It doesn't know which way it wants to go. So we'll see if anything can break this price here, either direction, up or down. The daily says it's probably pointing lower later today. Let's take a look at ERCOT. And ERCOT, as you can see here, we've got renewables, which we're pushing out as high as 38,000 megawatts. Our demand today is just over 68,000 megawatts. It's overcast and the wind is down, which means natural gas right now is currently pulling just under 29% of the fuel mix. That should increase later today as the wind starts to ease off and as the overcast skies keep solar relatively tame. So right now, solar is just over 9,000 megawatts. It is expected to peak out today at 25,000 and a half megawatts. So we'll see if that actually happens today. If not, natural gas catches a bid. How about Golden Pass? It's steady here at 375,000 MMBTUs, but nothing is loading at the port. As you can see here, the Sea Eagle, the HLC Eagle, the LNG tanker, is at anchor, and it's been at anchor for a couple days now. And as we scroll in here, as you can see, nothing is loading here at Golden Pass LNG at this time. So the Sea Eagle awaits the second cargo. How about the Middle East? Let's take a look. First, we should talk about the first cargo from Golden Pass, and this is the LNG tanker here. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but right now, as you can see, it is pulling into the English Channel, as you can see right now. It's just at the mouth of the English Channel, which means its port is either the UK or France, Brussels, or even in the Netherlands, which is very low in storage. So we'll see if the first cargo from Golden Pass is going to be delivered here in the next few days. How about the front to back spreads? Well, here's the Novi through March strip, and it's currently down right now. Currently trading down 3.6 cents here to 4.051. The RSI is trying to turn lower again. We got our first level yesterday at 403.5. That was our first resistance above the market, 412.30. So the direction is up, but we're getting a little bit of chop today as we run into some profit taking. Same thing here for April through October strip, the injection strip for next year. We're currently down 3.1 cents to 326.40. The RSI is also pointing lower. We are still holding above our first resistance now, support at 325. And what else is going on? Let's take a look at the weather here. This is warmer temperatures starting to build into Texas and parts of the West as that cooler temperature pushes the warmth out for the moment. Then all of a sudden we start building. We start seeing some 90s here in the South, even spots of 100 in here in Mexico, and then pushes into the desert Southwest here, potentially into Arizona and Southern California as we go through the forecast period. So the West is starting to build the heat. Remember, it's very dry from Texas all the way over into the Carolinas. And let's take a look at the heat index risk right now. As you can see, that heat risk is from Texas all the way back into the Southeast, even up to parts of New England with just minor heat risk. That builds here in Texas, Louisiana, and parts of Florida and Georgia as we get into tomorrow. And that continues through Florida for Thursday, Friday. You can start to see the heat building out here in the desert Southwest. That's Southern California and Arizona. That continues Saturday, Sunday, really start to see some major heat risk as we start moving into next week. Let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear fleet. We're running right now, currently at 18 gigawatts are offline for maintenance and refueling. That is well within the 5-year average. We look like we've peaked here. That peak was somewhere around April the 20th. We are starting to decline as we get into July and August to September. That summer period is when we bottom out on nuclear outages, at least planned outages. And then we begin the cycle again with refueling in the fall. The weather in Europe, and it's mixed here as we go through the forecast period. A little warm here in Eastern Europe right now. Cooler temperatures start to move in off the Atlantic for Spain and France, but it's not by much. These are moderately cooler temperatures. As we move through the forecast period here, we start to see some cooler temperatures coming in on the 13th here for France and Spain and the Isles. But then that extends a little further east as we get into next Friday. And that continues as we move through the forecast period. It starts to moderate here again, starting to show some warmer temperatures late in the forecast period toward the 20th of May. How about storage? We're just under 34% across the EU. France and Italy are pushing gas into the grid, but Germany and Austria really not doing too much here. Our lagger is Sweden right now and the Netherlands. How about Asia? Well, this is the forecast period here for China and Japan and the Koreas. As you can see, some cooler temperatures start to move in briefly here before we start seeing some really warm temperatures starting to build. As you can see right here, May the 10th, some warm temperatures are really building in Mongolia and then pushing into the eastern provinces of China and the Koreas and then Japan later on. What else is going on with this? This is the transition to El Nino. And if this high pressure system starts to build again, they're looking at a worse summer, a warmer summer for Japan than 2023. So we're going to keep a careful eye on this because if that's the case and our recent earthquake activity, we're going to start seeing even more demand for LNG into Japan and the Koreas, possibly China later on. They've been lagging here. How about the tropics? Well, the Saharan air layer is acting like a linebacker for any tropical development. It's still early. We're about a month out, just about, 3 weeks out from the June 1st start for the Atlantic hurricane season, but this is going to inhibit any storm development. So where can we get our storms? Anywhere from Panama over here, the Yucatan, and into the Gulf of America / Mexico. So that would be our best chance for an early hurricane this season. This Saharan air layer, that dust will just grab onto those water molecules and drop. So that really dissipates the strength of any mid-Atlantic storm. How about the oil and gas sector? We're undergoing a little bit of profit taking here across the energy sector. So the stocks in the oil and gas space are coming off here other than Crescent. So that is a good news for Crescent. Behind me, CNX down not 0.96%, 0.947% now, starting to recover a little bit. And so recapping here again for the spot June contract, currently trading at 281, even down 5.7 cents or a little over 2%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.